Session on Introduction to Television and Cinema. In this session, we are going to discuss about the fifth personality, a legendary personality of Indian cinema, and that is Mrinal Sen. Mrinal Sen is like a very important figure from Indian film industry. He is considered as one of the greatest filmmakers of the 20th century. Okay, not just from India. He started the new cinema movement in Bengal and eventually in India with his raw, dark, and provocative films. And this is not something very simple, as we say it. It is not that easily digestible for everybody. The greatness of this particular person, Mrinal Sen, is in fact reflected in this slide, the content in the slide. He is one of the few filmmakers from India whose films have been awarded at big three film festivals, the Cannes, the Venice, and Berlin. This is not that simple an achievement. So that gives us the picture almost clear that he has contributed extensively to Indian cinema. Sen's first feature film, Raat 4, which came in the year 1955, was a critical failure. His next film, Neel Akash Aur Niche, which came in the year 1958, earned him local recognition. But his third film, Beshe Shravan, which came in the year 1960, gave him international exposure. He became popular among the international audience. Its story was set in the backdrop of Second World War, when West Bengal was going through one of the worst famines ever known. So it is basically about the Bengal famine. The films showed a poor couple struggling to sustain themselves without food. So that concept of poverty, or you can say that that utter pathetic situation of famine, is depicted in a realistic manner in the movie. The movie documented the change in their relationship as they managed various difficulties and the dark side of human nature in the face of a calamity. How exactly people react, or you can say respond, when bad things happen in their life, how people change. That is in fact reflected in the movie. But the most important movie in the career of Mrinal Sen is Bhuvan Show, which came in the year 1969. You have to remember the name. Finally launched Sen as a major filmmaker both nationally and internationally. This movie, we can say, that also initiated the new cinema film movement in India. Cinema is nothing but the parallel cinema, which is in fact not alternative to the mainstream cinema. Okay, and it emerged in Bengal in 1950s. There are a good number of movies, significant movies in the Indian film industry to his credit. You can say that another important is his Calcutta trilogy. One is Interview, which came in the year 1971, then Calcutta 71 came in the year 1972, and Padatika came in the year 1973. That time Calcutta was going through a crisis. We know that India-Pakistan war, the freedom, or you can say the independence that the Pakistan, East Pakistan has attained from Pakistan, and when the new country called Bangladesh merged, during that particular time, and it also resulted in a good number of refugees to West Bengal. So all these things, in fact, ended up in a very critical period of West Bengal. So that civil unrest in West Bengal is in fact reflected in his Calcutta trilogy. Then normally he is also interested in talking about the middle class morality. Okay, one of the most important movie is Gharji, which came in the 1982, which actually means the case is closed, and it won the special jury award at Cannes Film Festival in the year 1973. Another important movie is Akale Sandhane, which came in the year 1981. Again, won Silver Bear at Berlin International Film Festival. So there are so many good movies to his credit, and some names you have to remember. And the 1981 movie is basically about Bengal famine. Okay, so of 1943. Then. By the 1980s, Sen was a national figure and was regarded as one of India's most important filmmakers. He continued to explore social concerns in his later works, such as World Within and Without, which came in the year 1992, then The Confined, which came in the year 1994, and My Land, which came in the year 2002. Another important thing that we have to remember in this context is Sen won the National Film Award 18 times. Okay, and that is not a small number. Okay, and he was awarded Padma Bhushan in the year 2008. In the same year, he was awarded the Dadasaheb Phalke Award for his contribution to Indian cinema. So from all this, it is almost clear for you by now that such an important personality in Indian film industry. So that is all about Mrinal Sen. Watch his movies and try to understand, how much he has in fact contributed, like the nuances that he deals with in his movies. All these things, you will get to know better when you watch one of the movies of Mrinal Sen. It is dark, it is dark means it is talking about the dark realities of life, but you can see that the true realistic picture is in fact of life. It's in fact reflected in his movies. Okay, so that is all about Nelson and about this particular video. Thank you and God bless.